From another world, the doubt, the onward, beyond the land of my sacred.
I'm pleased you came to see me. There's something I wanted to ask of you.
What is it?
You know that I was banished from my country as a result of something I did when I was very young. If I ever hope to see the spires of Mount Augur again, I must redeem myself in the eyes of one man in particular. An abbot. He's hard and strict, but I believe him to be a just man. My brother saw him in Peren recently and told me that the abbot is now traveling as a missionary. He is apparently leading the mission we helped finance for the refugees from Duton. I would like to seek him out and make amends. Apologizing is not something I'm used to doing much, so your presence would be a great comfort to me. Would you come with me to the border?
Of course. Let's go. An apology shouldn't be that difficult.
Thank you. But I'm afraid the abbot won't be satisfied with just an apology. If I'm not mistaken, the camp where he works is in the High Prairie region.
See you later.
It's my pleasure.
Thus we are descended from the ancient kings of Astria. It's a funny feeling, you know.
What does it change? We all descend from someone, whether it be a king or a simple hunter. What does it matter?
Your heart is far too pure to understand the fascination for ancestry on this continent.
See you later.
I certainly hope so.
Here we are, off the coast of the proud city.
I have to go tell Alvida that Sir Francis wants to see us.
Why, Fausta, is that you? I never thought I'd see you again after what you did.
I know. But my brother told me you were in the area, and I wanted to...
Your brother is a good man. Thanks to him, we were able to finance this mission. I imagine that's the kind of thing that would never occur to you, since you've never thought of anyone but yourself. We're here to help the unfortunate people fleeing the war, ravaging the Dutan Empire. Oh, they've lost everything.
The work you do is very admirable, Father. And I was hoping...
Always talking nonsense, aren't you? Incapable of listening to your elders?
Abbot Appius, are you the one who's in charge here? We've come to inform you that all these refugees are under arrest for theft and damage to property. This camp is to be dismantled immediately.
Excuse me? That's absurd! These people haven't done anything wrong. They're just fleeing a war. We take them in and give them anything they need to help them rebuild their lives. They have no reason to steal.
That only adds to their crime. These parasites come to our country and take advantage of your generosity. Then they have the nerve to steal.
That's not true! If you must arrest someone, arrest me. I'm in charge. I'm the thief. Just leave these poor people alone.
In that case, you're under arrest, Abbot Appius. But the camp will still have to be dismantled.
We can't just sit back and let this happen. The abbot would never steal from anyone.
What proof do you have of theft?
We have had numerous complaints from local nobles who claim that provisions and tools have gone missing. We were shown a shed where the doors have been forced open, and granaries where it was clear that bags were missing.
No one here would steal from the granaries of these nobles, or take their tools.
Of course not. You yourself have admitted to the thefts, Abbot.
Now that the abbot has confessed, why dismantle the camp?
The land was ceded to him. Since he's been arrested, he no longer holds claim to it. Therefore, the camp must be dismantled.
The land was donated to the Holy Church of the Enlightened, not to my person. Please, leave these people alone.
Who ordered this arrest?
The Prince de Vespe. More precisely, his minister, Sir Daril.
That's absolutely ridiculous. There may have been thefts, but you have no proof that these people, or the abbot for that matter, are to blame.
Oh, I have no doubt that when we search the camp, we'll find all the evidence we need.
It's not hard to find food in a refugee camp, or tools for that matter. But that doesn't prove they were stolen. You seem to be in a great hurry to arrest the abbot and break up this camp. These people will need time to find new shelter. Have a heart and give them a few days.
Absolutely not. I have orders. These people must return home. They're no longer welcome here.
You know they can't go home. What do you want them to do? Wander around aimlessly in groups with nowhere to go?
I admit that wouldn't be ideal.
We have an excellent relationship with the Prince de Vespe. I'm sure he wouldn't approve of this, and I fully intend to inform him.
Right. Listen, get them to start packing up their things. I'll give them a few days, but they have to leave. I'll come back in a week to see that they've left. In the meantime, I'm taking the abbot to the palace prison.
The Enlightened has put you in my path, and that of all these unfortunate souls, Fausta. Prove their innocence. Save them.
Don't worry, Abbot. We'll save them, and you too.
Pardon my interruption, but I thought I heard some noise. I live nearby. What's going on here exactly? What were those soldiers doing?
They came to arrest the abbot, and they wanted to shut down this refugee camp.
It's about time. Someone had to deal with those thieves and put them in their place. I imagine this dreadful camp will soon be nothing more than a bad memory. Good day, young people.
We must clear the abbot's name. I know he's not a thief. And as for that guard, I may be wrong, but I felt like there was something strange about her. Please, we must investigate and find the real culprits. Perhaps the abbot will forgive me if we succeed, and I need his forgiveness.
Hello. I'm sorry to welcome you here under the present circumstances. Is there anything I can do for you? You don't look like refugees.
My name is Fausta. I knew the abbot once and came to speak with him. I didn't expect to see this.
Would you mind answering a few questions? We'd like to understand what's going on here. Perhaps we can help you.
I'll gladly answer any questions you may have, especially if it will allow us to continue our work here.
What can you tell us about the shelter?
Our relief mission began here some time ago to provide shelter for victims of the Dutan War. It's not easy. We've taken in far more people than we expected. We're in constant danger of running out of resources. And our neighbor, the Count of Rian, is bent on getting rid of us and our flock, which doesn't make things any easier. He's been hounding us for weeks. And now, he has finally got his way. Without the abbot, what will become of us?
We'll leave you to your flock.
Thank you. I pray that the Enlightened will help you bring the abbot back to us.
In his journal, the abbot says he's been holding services to lift the spirits of the refugees. I wonder where they could be taking place. He can't be holding them here in the camp. That would cause too much tension with the Carmenists.
Yes, best to avoid stirring up the trouble that drove them out of Dutan. Let's ask the missionaries if they know where they take place.
Are you with the soldiers? Did they send you to tell us to clear out?
No, not at all. We just have some questions to ask you. We'd like to understand what happened.
If it can save the abbot and allow us to stay, I'll be happy to answer.
The abbot was accused of theft. In fact, he just confessed to it so the guards would leave you alone.
The abbot is a holy man. Why would he do that? We're not thieves. And I don't think anyone here could have done such a thing. We would have known.
It seems that food was stolen. It would be understandable if you took something to eat.
Everyone here has endured terrible things. We lost everything, but we still have our dignity. We didn't steal anything.
If you had to leave, where would you go? Do you have friends or family somewhere?
No. Anyone who's still alive is still fighting out there. Unless they've already gone to be with the dead. I have no idea where else we could go. Theleme is too far away and we're not equipped to reach the free cities. We could go further south in the congregation, but would we be any better off there than we are here?
Are you a Mateist? I assume you all are, since this camp is run by the Church of Theleme.
Not all of us are. I've lost the faith. I used to believe in the goodness of the Enlightened and the words of St. Matthias. But there are all kinds of people here, Matthists and Carmenists alike. All are welcome as long as they don't bring their conflicts with them.
We'll be going now.
I hope you can save the abbot and this camp. Otherwise, we'll all be lost.
You've returned.
We read that the abbot was holding services for refugees who were interested.
That's true. He felt it was important to offer hope and spiritual comfort to these people who have suffered so much. However, he prefers to hold the services away from the shelter, so as not to make the Carmenists or those who have lost their faith feel excluded. They take place in the ruins of a church in the forest. Only those who wish to attend do so.
We'll leave you to your flock.
Thank you.
You're back.
We'll...
I...
Look, something's not right with these inventory records. The reserves are increasing. There are no deliveries to account for it.
Maybe they're hunting and fishing for food. The river that runs through here looks like it's teeming with fish.
Not only are food supplies increasing, but so are the tools. I doubt they found them in the river.
You're back. I...
Show them what we're made of!
Well, if it isn't those young people from earlier, what do you want?
You seemed very pleased at what happened to the shelter and the abbot.
That's right. In fact, I was the one who lodged the complaint, along with others, of course. Those alleged refugees of war are no more than thieves.
Please forgive me for asking, but who are you?
True. I haven't introduced myself properly. I am the Count of Rian, the lord of these lands. And you?
We are acquaintances of Abbot Appius. Pardon my intrusion, but we understood that the land had been granted to the refugees. If the land belongs to you, how can this be?
My mother granted the land to the Church of Teleme. She intended it to be used for a religious edifice or some place of learning. Certainly not a camp for thieves. Fortunately, the abbot's arrest will certainly allow us to put an end to this grant.
What proof do you have that the people who stole from you are housed in this camp?
Well, that's for the guards to ascertain, but all the robberies took place after the camp was established here. I'm not the only one who has been robbed. Other nobles have complained as well. And I won't even mention what they're up to in the woods.
In the woods?
Yes, for a while now, they've been seen going into the woods in groups and making a terrible racket. I suspect they're plotting attacks on the caravans that pass through the area.
It seems you resent the refugees for more than just these thefts. What do you have against them?
What an odd question. We were once at war with their country, and now they dare come here and settle on our land. They expect us to look after them, even to feed them. That is, when they don't just help themselves to our stores. Not as if we share the same culture, believe me. There's no sophistication or elegance to these people. Why should we welcome them here? Let them go somewhere else. To Teleme, seeing as their church is so eager to help them.
We'll leave you now.
All right then. Have a nice day.
These ruins, most likely those of a church built when these lands belonged to the Dutan Empire. This must be where services are held.
This note was torn into such tiny pieces that it's impossible to read.
We should be able to piece it back together, no?
This note is very short. It appears to have been written by a refugee who recently became a missionary. He says he needs to take responsibility for his past and go talk to the Count to try to set things right.
I doubt he'll be well received. The Count despises refugees, and becoming a missionary won't change that. We should speak to the Count again. I find it odd that he didn't even mention the missionary's visit the last time we saw him. Look at this. I could never have imagined Abbot Appius embroiled in a theft. And yet here we are.
If you knew what it's like on the other side of the border, you'd understand how desperate and terrified these people are after what they've been through. Is it any wonder they stole a few apples to keep from starving? But we don't know if your abbot had anything to do with it.
The Count doesn't seem to be home.
Let's make the most of it and have a look around. I don't trust him.
I don't have the key.
That smell. There's something rotting nearby.
I agree. It smells like death. The scent's so strong, we should be able to follow it. still wearing a missionary's habit. He was murdered.
Murdered and thrown into a pit in the garden like a rabid dog. May the Enlightened take him into his care. He didn't deserve this.
The Count must be mad. Unless he's trying to cover up something that this man's confession would have brought to light.
We should search his house to be certain.
Look at this. For weeks, the area's nobles have been plotting to close this camp. They've bribed guards, exaggerated the extent of the damage to make their case stronger, and killed a troublemaker.
This journal could convince the prince's advisor to look into the matter, and perhaps even free the abbot. But I'd sooner we went to the meeting it mentions. We could catch them in the act. It's not far from here. As I understand it, they're supposed to meet in the forest, just a short distance from this residence. The troublemaker was probably that poor missionary. It's too late to save him, but we can catch his killers.
Those refugees are still there.
Not for long. Without the abbot, the camp will break up on its own. Now pay us what you promised.
As long as the camp is still there, that's out of the question. Do you realize I had to get rid of one of those vermin myself?
You shouldn't have done that. If anyone finds out, there could be an inquiry.
I had no choice. The fool wanted to go and confess to the prince about the thefts. We would have lost our only means of pressure.
I don't like this one bit. I hope for your sake the body is never found.
What's done is done. And now I want you to go and harass those refugees, steal their supplies and give them a good scare. They need to be gone as soon as possible.
We have company. I wish you'd warned us we were expecting visitors.
They're those troublemakers, the abbot's friends. Kill them! No one must be able to report on our agreement.
Ah, as you wish. To arms!
Hey lads, we're finding
Let's show what we're made of!
kill us. We'll tell our superiors everything, and we'll give the names of the traitors who used us.
Very well. We'll let you live. But don't forget your promise.
We won't forget it. Thank you. Come on, let's get out of here.
Those spineless nobles fled as soon as we drew our weapons.
It's a good thing we spared the soldiers. They can attest to the truth of what happened if necessary.
I think the prince will be especially pleased that we didn't kill his soldiers.
All the latest fashions and our embroidery. I'm on patrol. Don't pay.
You're back. What do you want this time?
We've come to ask you to release Abbot Appius, who we have been told is imprisoned here.
Appius? Our soldiers reported that he confessed to being a thief.
I realize the situation is unfortunate, given our relationship with Ptolemy, but I cannot free a man who has committed multiple thefts.
We found this journal in the Count of Rian's things. This is all part of a scheme he devised with other nobles in the region to get his land back and get rid of undesirables. By his own admission, he bribed some of the local guards to carry out his plan.
Let me read that. Shocking. I never would have thought these provincial nobles would be bold enough to plot something like this.
It also says that he eliminated a troublesome individual, and we found a body. It was a missionary who was murdered and thrown into a pit on the grounds of the Count's villa.
How dreadful. I can't imagine what the prince and the ambassador of Ptolemy will say.
We went to the meeting place mentioned and heard the nobles giving orders to the bribed soldiers. The Count ordered them to scare the refugees and steal their supplies. We spared the soldiers' lives, so they can confirm what we've told you.
We'll have to offer compensation to the missionaries at the camp. This is completely unacceptable. Thank you for investigating this matter so diligently. I'll send some of my most trusted men to arrest the Count immediately. They'll continue your investigation and make sure this conspiracy is completely dismantled. The abbot will, of course, be released and escorted back to the shelter with our deepest apologies.
We would like to go see the abbot at the shelter as soon as possible.
I understand. You are quite right. Goodbye, and thank you again for what you have done.
Fausta, I've learned I have you and your friends to thank for my liberation. Thanks to your help, the shelter will be able to pursue its mission, and the refugees once again can hope for a brighter future. And that Count who despised us so greatly now has time to rue his decisions from behind bars. I was told what happened to our young missionary, who was killed for repenting and trying to do good. It's terrible. But he's with the Enlightened now. Thank you for everything you have done for me. And for us. Fausta, I was wrong about you. I thought you were still the selfish, irresponsible girl who set fire to my monastery.
Please forgive me, Abbot. I was a rebellious child who wanted to flee from you and your teachings. It was only meant to be a diversion, but I lost control. What happened was not my intention.
I understood that. But I still agreed with your banishment. A woman died because of your actions, but you have changed. And the Enlightened teaches us forgiveness. I will write to the cardinals to lift your banishment. You will be able to return home, if you wish. Thank you all again. You cannot imagine how much good you have done by enabling this refuge to continue to exist.
I don't need to imagine it, Abbot. I already know. You are the one I should thank for your kindness towards the refugees. I will see to it that in the future you are regularly brought food and anything else you might need.
May the Enlightened bless you, my son.